Ooh, GG's, boys. GG's. Shit. GG's, guys.
houses in like a home or something, or what?
No, indoors is the only prerequisite. So whatever method you want to use. Honestly, with some of the encamp tabs, so go into that menu and then go to the far right. So like you have that one there. Yeah, see, like you can stick 2 against that wall. Put them next to the stairs. Get one of those back beds still. So bring it towards you. Get them closer to the stairs now. Like right up against the stairs. Put the feet right up against the stairs. Yep. And put the other one right next to it, closer to you. You see what I'm going for here?
I think so.
Yep, and then just make sure that you can walk all the way around it. Yep, you're good. So just put that one back that you picked up over there and, next to that other door.
I think I scrapped it already.
Okay, that's fine. Replace it or don't. You have 14 beds at the moment. But yeah.
Yeah, we
And
need to get
then-
some defenses going.
Yep. So there's the guard posts, which require manpower, which you can equip them with weapons and armor and stuff like that you bring back from missions or that you get attacked with, like, all that, and then you can like give them to a person and they can man the guard tower, or you can use turrets and traps. Basically, the 2 white ones over here on the left, they're independent and autonomous. Autonomous, and they do not require power. Any of the ones that have like the gray on them, they will require power lines being ran to them for them to operate. And they can be damaged, at which point you would need to repair them in order for them to work for you again. I personally recommend putting them on roofs, but yeah.
No.
You can cancel the move if where it was before is more preferable for you, by the way. If you don't put it in a new spot, it goes back to wherever you put it.
Man, that's... Give me my creative
Just
mode
go well.
floating.
Yeah, just scroll wheel and it'll push it away. And then right and left click will rotate it to where you want it to be.
Why can you not be up there?
You need to rotate it correctly. There you go. So technically your settlement requirements are met at the moment. Like,
Well, that's a lot better.
so like that's the basis of whenever you have like a settlement building mission or you need to improve one that you already have. That's basically what it's going to be. Do you have beds? Do you have food? Do you have water? Do you have people? And the ability to build those recruitment thingies are going to be like a constant for you with the Minutemen quests. You're going to be building a lot of settlements.
Sounds absolutely miserable.
It's definitely one of those things that you do when you're in the mood for. When you want to do some building. Because they are objectively easy XP. They're just materially costly.
See, like all these dead leaves, you know, if you're gonna have me go,
Mm,
then you gotta give me the option to get rid of the debris in here.
yeah.
Better fix up the and stuff like that, like. And to turn it into also into like a micromanaging simulator, where it's just all like, oh, make sure that you assign every settler a job to do something. It's just like, no, like, I don't want to do.
There is a terminal that you can make. Um, uh, like go down in the menu, just hit down, power, and then go into, I want to say it's miscellaneous again. Yeah, that white one. Not the one that you're on now, but the white one to your right. Vault-Tec Population Management System. Basically, if you have an unassigned settler, you can just come to this bench and say, assign to this job. And it'll just find whatever settler doesn't have a job and assign them to it. So you don't have to like chase them down and do all that shit. So that cable is obstructed by the tower.
What, cables can't bend?
No, they have a droop as well. So where you run your cables, like where you point your, like place your connectors matters. So yeah, you can go in there now, because you should have one settler that doesn't have a job at least. And you can go in there and just be like, go play with the farm. And they'll go play with the farm. That way you don't have to like chase them down and micromanage.
Better, but still, I very much preferred the Skyrim, like, oh, like, you're my house guard, like, you run my house while I'm away, thank you. Let's do that.
If you're supposed to be rebuilding society, how are you rebuilding society if you just show up, kill everything, leave, and it just develops?
Sounds like a pretty good plan to me.
Yeah. After you've gone a couple playthroughs like in here, cleaning all this out and just like knowing what you need, what you don't need, and just removing it can be done in like 10 to 15 minutes. Because you're just going from house to house, just grabbing everything to get resources.
If you want to take care of the team that's in the back, I'd appreciate it.
They don't call me slow hand for nothing.
The point of having TV is like on all the channels.
Yep. But some people want a basement. Make it all pretty.
But it's like you gotta hook it up to power anyways.
Yeah. Again, like, eventually you get to the point where, like, you have all the resources that you need. Especially when you get to the point where you're able to just build scrapping stations, like 8 or 10 of them in every one of your settlements. And, like, every 24 hours, your people just bring in a ton of shit for you that you can then build and manipulate and do stuff with. Like, eventually you will have all the resources that you need and then some.
Did not have the oomph that I wanted it to.
Gotta get yourself a ripper. And that's an available cooking station you can move as well. And there should be a chemistry station around the back of one of these houses as well. Yep, there it is. That wasn't originally there. I think they did an update to add a chemistry station to this settlement. So go back to the chemistry station I was talking about there. And now just hit E. Now move it somewhere that it's more accessible for you. And then you're going to want to do the same thing with the station as well.
Look like a ghoul. Which one's the front side?
I think that's the inside.
No kids, no playground.
Mm-hmm. But what is Charles going to play with when they get back?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
What was that, David? Yeah.
Nice little trail of fire it's leaving behind. Through the
Mhm.
garden. As we all know, it's always best to have your cooking right next to where you handle your chemicals.
And next to your giant wooden home. So you're gonna need more water, so like clean up the stuff here in the river, and then just kind of like make spacing here, get all the resources out. All right. So one of the easiest and just like most passive ways to get just caps in this game is water farming. So head over to go down on your menu, head over to the food and water thingy, water, go over. So that one is just so you're aware, the one to the left with the cement block, that one is a powered pump that you can build in locations that don't have a puddle resource to extract water from. The puddles are infinite, like as long as they're there, they're gonna produce water for you. But you can use that one and power it to generate a larger volume of water for settlements that don't have a close water resource. In this case, you
Okay.
do. So you're gonna keep going to the right, and this one is the basic powered one. When you have a water resource, the one that you should try to use when you can is the one further to its right, but I believe it has a requirement. Yeah, science. So for now, just kind of like be aware that that's what you should be trying to use, because water does not require settlers doing a task in order to produce, and it sells
Okay.
for like this also produces purified water instead of dirty water, which won't irradiate you if you need to use it to heal. But it is heavy, so just be aware of that as water is for you. But as it produces water, it will just add purified water to the workbench, that as you go through and start like setting up shop, like in your settlement or like going to other settlements in the game, you can just sell them the water and get caps that you can buy other things with. So in that regard, like you can just set up massive hordes of water farms and they'll just print water for you.
That does sound really appealing.
Another thing, back in that menu, go over to the far side. Okay, so if you have a location, so I'll just explain what these do for you. Go back to the far left. In the event that you need to grow crops somewhere that's like cemented over and stuff like that, this will allow you to grow crops on it. So pretty simple in that regard. That is a salvaging station, which if you build that and assign a settler to it, over time will just passively generate materials for you. Like you can have like 15 of those things in a given settlement and just assign the entire population to those things, and they'll just print materials for you over time. They don't work if you are in the settlement with them. You need to be like out doing their thing, and they need a decent amount of time for them to work. But if you just set them up with whatever excess population you have in every one of the settlements that you make, they'll just rent resources for you over time. Go to the right. If you have a Brahmin that will sometimes wander into the base for you, they will automatically assign themselves to that thing. I don't recommend building it at the moment because ceramic is a premium for you at the moment. But eventually when ceramic becomes less of a contested resource, do that, and the Brahmin will naturally produce fertilizer for you, which you can use to like make
more
ammo and
farmlands.
stuff like that.
Making ammo.
And then that's ability you can use to just summon people. In the event you get that hooked up, when you get an attack, they will set off the siren and make people aware, and then they'll respond and whatnot. You can set a custom fast travel arrival location in a settlement with that little pad. Pillory, if there's a particular settler that's just pissing you off with their commentary, have fun. These actually produce happiness if you have them on there as well, but basically it allows you to change your appearance at will. And then surgery chair, same thing, but with physical attributes. So yeah, go back to the management bench, or the management computer now. Enter. So you assign them to defense, so you're going to want to build some guard posts
I have
for
one.
security. Okay.
At the bridge.
But yeah, you can use this to get rid of like the finding them and giving them a specific bench to interact with and stuff like that. So That takes a lot of the micro out. Because I agree, that's a convenience.
I'm learning so much. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The
Nice.
I think this was a pretty good spot to set up a defense.
Yeah. Especially if you eventually get like the materials and whatnot that you want to build a wall around the base to like kind of force people over to the bridge, which does work. Like defensive strategies do work in this game, as long as the game doesn't like do what it's currently doing in my game, where it will sometimes like spawn them in a particular spot inside my walls, which I need to figure out why they're doing that. Or I can just build a freaking turret to just annihilate them whenever it does it. It depends on the amount of effort I want to put into defense. Also, so with weapons going in the bench and stuff like that, in the event that you have a weapon in the bench, whenever the settlement gets like attacked, there's a chance that some of the settlers will be like, oh, there's a weapon in this bench that I can use to greater effect. It's more powerful than the default weapon that I have, and I'm going to use that. But in order for that to work, they need to have the appropriate ammo in their inventory. Like say, if there's a combat rifle in your workbench, if they have a .45 caliber bullet in their inventory, there's a chance that they'll go over, grab that combat rifle, and be more combat effective as a result. You don't need to give them a bunch. You can just give each of your settlers one of each type of ammo that they could potentially be using, and they'll just continue using that bullet forever in perpetuity. Companions actually do use ammo, and you need to maintain them, but settlers get infinite ammo as long as they have one of that type of ammo. Any other questions while you got me?
Not right now. This was very informative.
You know, go look in your workbench at the materials you got now. R, not E. And then you can use the arrows next to the workshop to filter.
Oh my gosh, that's so much better. Okay. Learning so much.
Yeah, so like with those miniguns in there, if you don't have the 5mm ammo to like carry it around and use it, plus it's like too heavy and whatnot, you can give a single 5mm round to one of your settlers and the minigun and tell them to equip it, and they will use miniguns to defend your settlement.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like, and then your junk is all the stuff that you just scrapped. So in here, there is also a quick store for all of your junk. You see that? So
Yeah.
hit T, and all of the junk that you were carrying is now in the workbench for you to build with.
Yeah. Actually going to leave them guns then. So you can just use them.
Again, they need to have the appropriate ammo for it. If the gun uses a fusion cell as the ammo, you need to put a fusion cell in their inventory. You can also just specifically give them a gun that you want them to use, so you don't have to wait for the random chance that they do a scan of the workbench, see there's a better gun available, and go and pick it up.
Alright, let's try this out. Who's been assigned to defense?
Hit V. You can see their jobs when you look at them. So Sturgis is assigned to defense. So get out of there now. Yep, now you can give him a 5mm round. He just needs one. Now over to, yep, there you go, minigun. Then cursor over to it because he still has the pipe pistol equipped by default. T will make him equip the minigun.
You don't tell me you're busy, son.
Careful, he has a minigun. Yeah, so there's that. That's how that works.
That's much better.
Oh, another thing. So you have an armor bench over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go in there and you have like clothing and stuff like that, like in your inventory that you're just carrying around, so that's your weapons bench. Go over to the left, outside the ground, top of the edge. There you go. That's your armor bench. So in here you can upgrade, maintain, do all that stuff for the armors and stuff that you have in here, but most clothing items can't actually be upgraded in here. Once you get the ballistic weave we talked about yesterday, that changes for some clothing items, but you won't actually be able to scrap clothing that you're not actually going to wear in here, right? So in order to do that, go ahead and hop out of this menu. Just like go out into the road somewhere that you can see everything around you. Okay, stop. Now, Pip-Boy. Pearl. Do you have anything in here that you don't want? Okay, you don't really
GG's,
have one.
guys. That was a great match.
I'm assuming you want to keep the wedding ring. So go into your workbench again, and you throw up the request for help. They will actually come in the middle
Yeah,
of
that's
the
what
fight.
the flow guns are about, yeah.
Yeah, basically. So having scattered settlements can be our Brotherhood of Steel or Minute.